Where does bhajan come from? How does that come in? When?
What we did simply was ask our friends, friends of friends, make them put stories on Instagram, tell them to come for a jamming session. And today, what you see, Hanuman, is that this 50 people have grown into a 5,000 people per session movement. We've got immense love, not just from India, but abroad. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, mentioned us in his Man Ki Baat podcast. And when we say bhajans, it's not a religious movement, but a spiritual movement.
My Guru Neem Karoli Baba said, everything is impermanent except for love of God. How do you see bhajan? What is the inner meaning for you?
So for us, bhajans, it can mean only one thing, that is peace. And that's how we picked it up. And even back then, just sitting and chanting simple bhajans, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Jai Raja Ram, would bring us so much peace.
They say real energies happen when you start helping others. So do one thing, just once for once, go and try help someone and see what you feel inside. Connect with yourself. The real happiness lies within.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Namaste, Ram Ram. How are you?
We are good. How are you?
Really good, thanks. So good to see you both.
Likewise.
Where are you in the world?
In Calcutta.
India,
Calcutta.
Yes.
Kolkata has the best pani puri, I hear.
It's called Puchka.
Puchka.
Absolutely.
This is called Moved by Love.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a saint by the name of Vinoba Bhave. I don't know if you've ever heard his name or come across him, but Vinoba basically, his book was called Moved by Love, and that book really inspired me. And he was somebody during the independence movement of India who walked around the whole of India, went to the rich people, and asked them to give some land to the poor so that they could do farming. You know, the landless, the peasants, the people who are really struggling. And the rich not only had to give them land, but then he would ask them, can you also teach them how to farm so that they can also develop? And literally the criminals used to put guns at the feet of Vinoba when he used to go around doing this seva. And it was pure social activism, like, going, but it was all based on spirituality. So that's how we are calling this moved by love. And that's why I'm really inspired by everything that you are doing with bhajans and, and all of that. So I thought I would just share that to give you a bit of a theme of where we're approaching this from, and the angle of where it goes is to move by love.
Love the concept.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's Prachi and Raghav, right? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Sorry, I look like this, but I'm born and brought up in London, so my accent is also, completely a mess when it comes to Hindi or Sanskrit pronunciation. Prachi Raghav, thank you so much for being with me on Move by Love. What are you doing? What's going on?
That's a beautiful question to start with. Thank you so much, Hanuman, for having us over on this podcast. What we are doing is nothing but giving a shape to India's youth, just being a part of them. And we are super proud to call ourselves that because we are the ones who start an international movement together. Yes.
To put it very, very simply, what are we doing? We are just making people sing.
So let's go back a bit and understand you, because I love personal stories and, kind of trying to understand brother and sister, Prachi and Raghav. Like, where does bhajan come from? How does that come in? When? At what age? What's triggering this?
Okay, let me just quickly bring this to you. I am 26 years old today.
I'm
Prachi is 22. And we started this backstage siblings a year and a half back. What we did simply was ask our friends, friends of friends, make them put stories on Instagram, tell them to come for a jamming session. And jamming is nothing but a concept where everyone comes and sits and sings together.
Sure.
Simply no other thing, no intoxications, no food, no liquor, no nothing, just singing together, connecting with yourselves. And today, what you see, Hanuman, is that this 50 people have grown into a 5,000 people per session movement. Today, we are at We've got immense love, not just from India, but abroad. Our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, mentioned us in his Man Ki Baat podcast. So, coming to the bhajan thing, we started this off lately, 5 months back on Janmashtami. We held a small session in Calcutta of 100 people. And we got so many requests on Instagram that there should be this more of these sessions. And today we're doing a national level bhajan jamming tour with Saregama. So the concept revolves around one thing. Rules have remained the same from 50 to 5,000. People still sit on floor, they sing bhajans, they chant. And when we say bhajans, it's not a religious movement, but a spiritual movement. We mix Kun Faya Kun with Ram Ram Jai Raja Ram. We sing Bollywood songs there. So anything which connects you with within is bhajans.
1.5 years back, we managed to gather 50 people in Calcutta, our own friends, family, relatives, and we hosted our first ever session. And 2 weeks back, we had our first session of 5,000 people in Bombay.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. I was looking up. I've been studying Hindu philosophy and a lot of the ancient texts of India for a long time, maybe 20 years. And I was looking up the root of the word bhajan,
Mhm.
which means to budge, is the root word, and the essence of it is really to share.
Hmm.
To share. It comes from that essence. And then I think, what are we sharing? What are you sharing? And that really is a connection to our own hearts that people are really craving for. So
Hmm.
my guru Neem Karoli Baba said, everything is impermanent except for love of God. That
Hmm.
essential spiritual love. And we crave for everything in the world, don't we? Everything physical, everything material. But we know deep down that it is salt water, and that only that bhajan, or that prayer of the heart, that inner thing, is the only permanent thing that remains with us. And I learnt that a long time ago when I was with Ram Das and with
Hmm.
Krishna Das, is a very dear friend of mine for last, 20 plus years. And I've been sitting with him when there were 5 people, 10 people, and nobody was around. And then extraordinary, like 5,000, 6,000 people singing the Hanuman Chalisa in New York. It's just extraordinary to us. It's just like remarkable. And I see what you've done here and what you're doing. And he very much sees himself as just a spoon serving prasad.
Hmm.
And it's funny that as he's doing this, he just sees that he's just singing back and forward, or just sharing that love. How do you see it? How do you see bhajan? What is the inner meaning for you? This is a spiritual practice, as you said. Like, how do
Absolutely.
you both, and maybe you could both like share your views on that, like, individually, how it is a personal practice to you.
So for us, bhajans, it can mean only one thing, that is peace. So like we've been going for satsangs with our dad since we were 10 years of age, 10 years
Wow.
old. And that's how we picked it up. And even back then, just sitting and chanting simple bhajans, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram Jai Raja Ram, would bring us so much peace. Even if we're singing a Bollywood song, be it Tera Mujhse Hai Pehle Ka Nata Koi, the same song, if it's sung with that dedication to the Almighty, it brought us inner peace. So that's what we wanted to make people feel.
Hanuman, I visited Rishikesh once and I used to travel solo. Like, I'm an investment banker by profession. And I saw once in a ghat that there were 4 people just sitting there. There was a Ganga river flowing nearby. And they were chanting these 4 lines, Narayan, 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 and Narayan. They were just repeating these 2, 3 words together and the vibrations which that created. Trust me, I have goosebumps when I tell you this. And once I saw that, I called up Prachi and I told her that we need to show this to the world.
That's beautiful.
Imagine 4 people creating that vibrations today when 5,000 of them chant together. The whole environment lightens up. It comes from your heart.
Yeah, I think it lightens up, and even that physical environment will change from the love of those people who are opening their hearts together in a single place. And I've had the fortune of visiting Bethlehem, the birthplace of Christ, and visiting Varanasi and Rishikesh and Kenchidam, Neem Karoli Baba's ashram has also got such vibes, and Belur Mat, with so many prayers of thousands of people shared in these sacred places. And I feel like because of that love of those people, it's transformed the physical location also, so that anybody else who comes into that place after being there can also feel some of that love and vibration that's left in that sacred place. And that's why I'm so in love with what you're doing, is because you're taking that love to different places and really creating openings of the heart for so many people in India and abroad, which is just a wonderful and a beautiful thing. And tell me about your bhajans with your dad that you used to do. Were you happy to go to them? Like, hopefully he's listening somewhere, very proud of all this. Like, but
No, no.
at the early time, were you happy to go to bhajans on a week? I have two young children, 12, 13 and 15, who have been going to bhajans and kirtan for since they were very young as well. So I'm interested to know your perspective when you were young.
We were really excited to go with him. So we've always been singing. Singing has always been our passion since very small. And
Right.
even back then when we did not know the lyrics of these bhajans, when we found it so complex because we were so small, of course, we would still try to sing. Even if we go wrong sometimes, we would really enjoy learning, picking up new songs. We learned Hanuman Chalisa at the age of around, I think, 12 or 13. And the bhajans really excited us since day one.
We've not had any formal education for music even today. What has come out as a result of a passion. And we remember him driving us to temples, and on the way, we used to repeat the mantras again and again. We used to go wrong, and then the rule was we start from the starting again. You go wrong, and that's how we built in connection towards it. And we saw that this actually makes us happy. So that's how the interest bloomed, and here we are today.
That's so sweet, and the fact that you loved it from an earlier age, and y- I guess it's not about the head, is it? This is something of the heart. So,
100%.
when people want to understand it from an intellectual perspective, you can try, but ultimately, until you do it, until you share in it, unless you budge at the heartbeat of actually practicing it, you won't really get it with the mind. Is it like Ramdas would always say, we want to move from role to soul. And that's what I feel bhajan does, or kirtan, or dun, or any
Absolutely.
sadhana, is actually trying to bring us from, mind to heart space. And I feel like young people in particular have, because the screens have been such a major focus of their life, COVID has taken a big chunk of youth as well, and kind of there's different stresses on them. Also, the intensity of requirement to work. People have to work so much longer hours now, don't they, than what people used to work
Exactly.
in previous generations, just to make ends meet.
Yeah.
They are yearning for
For
spiritual
escape.
connection.
An
Yeah.
escape. Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you say to young people today that who are connecting with this and don't really understand it? What's your message to them?
Just before I answer this question, just a small fact: 85% of the people who come to our jamming sessions are from the age group of 18 to 35.
Wow.
So we are connecting core solely with the Gen Zs. Those are the major people who come to our sessions, and the message is loud and clear. In today's world, Hanuman, if you notice, people don't have an option to go out. Like if you want to go out, the options what are a cafe or a club or a disco, where intoxication has become a common practice.
Sure.
What you're trying to do is build a paradigm shift to the thought process that you can do what makes you happy and it need not involve any external substance. So our message is loud and clear that the 1.5 hours when you are chanting with us, when you're doing bhajans with us, when you're jamming with us, those belong to yourselves. You're going to open to yourselves. You're going to meet so many like-minded people. And this is a soul exercise to look within yourself in that
So
moment.
all of these places where people go to, they go for certain other things. They go for maybe eating food or maybe
Sure.
going having a drink or watching a movie. But when they come for our sessions, they come solely for themselves. Like they are the primal. That's why we call the backstage siblings, because there's no formal stage. The audience, they are the main stage, and we are always going to be backstage.
I'll tell you something sweet that associates with that, and probably we'll talk quite a lot about Krishna Das. Are you familiar with Krishna Das?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we've seen his videos. We
Yeah,
know about
so he sings mostly kirtan, not so many bhajans because he's growing up in America. You don't really get that chance. But he also, similarly to you both, doesn't have any formal training in music, and was Grammy nominated and sings all over the world, like
it.
Hanuman Chalisa and kirtan bhajans. But he sings only to God and Guru, and he even places has a small picture there that faces him, and he's just singing the whole time, and everybody else is just enjoying and participating in the sadhana that he's doing together with people and sharing that with others. And even if people are going crazy and singing and dancing and really losing themselves in love, he's actually just chanting
Yeah.
Ram, Ram, Ram. Like for him, he's just doing his practice, and I love what you said about backstage siblings, because that is actually a similar kind of thing where the practice is happening and you're allowing them to do their sadhana in a
Absolutely.
joyful and loving and excited way. And I love the region that you're from as well. Like you're there in Calcutta, and I've studied a lot about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and West Bengal and the region, and like a lot of the ecstatic chant or ecstatic sharing of chant comes from that area. Do you associate with that at all?
Absolutely, we have a lot of fun mandirs nearby where we visit frequently, and the chanting, the whole concept of it remains the same, Hanuman. If you look at it, what we are doing might be a different form of it, which is attracting most of the people. The essence of it remains the same. Like Prachi said, we call it the backstage siblings because there's no stage in our sessions. We literally walk up to the crowd, and it's completely not planned. We don't have a set list which we follow. The music and everything is a reaction to what people want. It's impromptu, it's decided on the moment, and that's how we want it to be always.
Yeah. There's no fixed set list as if we are going to sing this song after this song after this song. We ask the
Really?
audience. It's a very interactive, curated session where we do music, we do poetry, we do one-on-one interactions with the audience to gauge the mood.
That's amazing. And so, how do the musicians and how does everybody align with that? Then that could be quite tricky, no? Or is it disclosed?
That will be, but after we do a lot of shows, we know each other's pulse. Our musicians are very well
They're very
known.
versatile with what they do.
Yes, exactly. And we actually plan these sessions impromptu. And like I said, we are not professional singers. We have made it clear to everyone, even the people. And that's what people are liking about us, that we are one of them. We are not professionals here. What we're trying to do is a passion project. It's a movement which in turn now has become an international movement. And I see every city in the country today having its own bhajan jamming session. They are using our videos, they're using our audios, and trust me, me and Raji feel happy when we see this. There's
That's
no
beautiful. No, actually,
competition.
we were part of a Bhajan Jam recently in London as well, and I'm sure that kind of the energy that you've created there in India has led to the energy that is happening here, and it's quite remarkable and wonderful. It's actually, the news is always covered with such negativity that we
Exactly.
see, and particularly Indian news. Like it can be quite like scary to watch an Indian and say, "This has happened here," and like they shout at you and there's shoom and flashy noises and like that. And I'm like, my God, I need to turn this down, because it's even the sound like popping from the microphones of the news that we hear, and news like that, bad news sells.
Exactly. I was going to come at this.
And when we have something like this, which is like a bright star in a dark night, it's really wonderful to see, and pleasing and positive, and I'm sure that's why Modi ji has kind of noted this thing, because we all want more opening of dharma in the world, and more establishing of peace and love and compassion and kindness and truth and honesty and Devi Sampad qualities that make us better human beings because we live more in the presence of love and compassion. From what do you feel you're doing from now, not so much the Gen Z perspective, what do you think you're doing for the Dharma? What are you doing for Sanatana Dharma? And like from that perspective, which goes back thousands of years, how do you see that connection?
Hanuman, this is a very important question. I'm glad that you asked this. We have been born and brought up with the values of Sanatan Dharma. We strongly believe in it. And India as a country is one of the most diverse countries which you'll ever see in this entire globe. The values, the morals which we hold, which we've been brought up with, we are extremely proud about that. And we see its implications in even today's every incident which happens across the globe.
Sure.
Coming to your question, how do you see about it? We are so happy and grateful that we could shape it in a way which made it relevant to today's youth. We felt that the people were slowly drifting away from it, and there was a
Right.
notion that this dharma or this satsangs or bhajans is something that you start liking at a later stage of your life. We wanted to change that notion, having experienced it firsthand. And today, what we did here was we made it relevant again for the youth, and we are grateful and we are in awe of the youth of the country. This
True.
is a joint credibility. This is Prachi and me are nothing here. Trust me when I say this. It is the youth. It is the youth of India, the Gen Z of India, which adapted it so well, which took it to a stand where it is today globally also.
Yeah.
So this is
Yeah.
a big, big, big kudos to everyone who has supported us, everyone who stood by us, and everyone who did this. And we are glad that this is making people happy.
And
In the
since we both of us are Gen Zs and since both of us are young, we call it this is a movement by the youth and for the youth. So, I think they connect more given our age is also in the same group.
That's
after
really
that,
nice.
we've
Yeah.
seen
I
people
don't know
cry.
which Z I am or X I am. I'm too old, so I don't know which one.
You sure look a Gen Z, but
I'll pay you later.
sounds like a plan.
So yeah, I think it's so beautiful and so critical as well. Like for the last 20 years, since I studied at the Oxford Centre for Hindu Studies in the UK, and some of the courses there were really exploring the beauty of these ancient texts, the wisdom of the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, Upanishads, Vedas. We explored so many Sanskrit texts, ancient things, and one of my co-authors, actually, this is one of the books on the Hanuman Chalisa here on the desk. I've got like here with Dr. Nicholas Sutton, and something he said to me a very long time ago. He said, if I was to give you a jewel or a precious jewelry or something that was given to your family 50 years ago or 100 years ago, how would you look after that item? And everybody said, I would really take care of that item. Like this is something really precious. It must be worth thousands of pounds or, crores of rupees in India.
Mm,
I would really take care of that. And then he said, what if I gave you something that's 10,000 years old? A property, and it's ancient, and every item in there is beautiful and like very, very creative. Now you've been given that and you're not taking care of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we have to take care of it now. And the way we take care of something is by polishing it, making it new, representing it for every day, because that Dharma is only as good as it is in today's
Yes.
generation or
Yes.
tradition. So it's up to each generation to reinvent and recreate and reconnect with the
Absolutely.
tradition to keep that house clean, isn't it? Because we know in 5 years or even in a few months, the house can get dirty if you don't polish it and dust it and take care of it.
Absolutely.
So that what you said made me think of that Professor Dr. Nicholas Sutton who said those words back then, and I've always every day wanted to work for Dharma since then because we take so much from it. What
Exactly.
can we give to it? What can we enhance to create and make that thing wonderful? And one of the things I wanted to see is what's your view now? Like, okay, it's happening in India. Many young Indians are connecting it to it. How do you see now that the rest of other countries who are not Indian, not brought up in India, not having a connection to India, how do the children of um, the UAE? How do the children of Prague or Germany or France? How do the children in America who don't even know what Ram Nam means? How can they connect to it?
Hanuman, so about it, there is a process by which you see in ISKCON Mandir, if you go to religious places in India, so many foreigners visit it. Have you seen this pattern? There are so many people who have actually come and settled in India. They're practicing yoga, they're practicing Hindu Dharma, they're practicing Sanatan Dharma. The only way, now you said it's your words only, that there are bhajan jamming sessions which is organized in London. There are bhajan jamming sessions in Germany. In fact, we ourselves are doing a world tour in the next 2 months. We have signed it with Saregama. We're doing a US, Europe, Australia, New Zealand, everywhere we are going across it. The only way by which people can know about it is us spreading it.
Sure.
The people who have been blessed enough to know about this, it's our responsibility in some way to make others also feel. And this is not a compulsion. You only come to it if it brings you your inner peace, if you're inclined towards it, if it makes you happy. And even Hindu Dharma believes in this. We
Yeah.
don't believe in forcing someone to have it. You got to feel it from within. So, about it, to answer your question, the only way by which this can spread is through people. People are the most miraculous creation of God, and that's how it's supposed to be.
And the
Yeah.
connect felt when the people, they experience the change in their lifestyle. When they step out of the room after this 1 hour of chanting bhajans, even if they don't understand the meaning, they can feel the vibrations in their body. The entire day, the next few hours of their day goes by peacefully. They feel more relaxed.
And we see so many foreign artists also coming up, Achyuta Gopi, Radhika Das, Krishna Das, all of these people who have been usually in an environment which is not Indian. They've been outside. And then since they have become the artists themselves, they are themselves preaching it. So that's a very positive move, which we look at it at a very good way, that this is a prachar of our Sanatan Dharma.
I would love to connect you with Katie at some point, and you guys can chant. And Radhika's also a close friend as well. So, we've seen that come, and that's been very much more around kirtan. I think and dun and chanting of just very simple mantras more so because many of the Westerners connect easier to that. Whereas if it's a bhajan that has a lot of essence and meaning and beauty, many people who don't understand the language often can't sing along or can't participate in that. Whereas if it's Sri Ram, Jai Ram, or Hare Krishna Mahamantra, anyone
Yes,
can just pick up that thing. So
absolutely.
in some ways, like that has to be the entry point almost, doesn't it, for that next stage, which is the bhajans and so on.
Right,
How do
absolutely.
you see the bhajans? What are your favorite bhajans personally? Which ones do you love to sing?
The favorite bhajans could be Ram Ram Jai Raja Ram, Shri
Okay.
Krishna Govind Hare Murari. That's mine.
Yeah.
And
No,
Prachi?
Hanuman Chalisa has always been my favorite bhajan. I listen to it when I'm feeling low, when I'm extremely excited. And that's something I've always been proud to know since a very young age.
Okay, you did this. Now we're going to talk about Hanuman Chalisa. What is it about the Hanuman Chalisa? I'm actually doing a course on the 8-week course on the Chalisa. I teach. What is it for you personally about the Hanuman Chalisa?
I think every line in Hanuman Chalisa has its full story of what Hanuman has done in his entire lifetime. And there's so much to take from it. You can apply each and every line to your daily lifestyles. You know how to fight with them. And there's a lesson hidden in every line. So if you someday try to sit and understand the meaning and not just chant, maybe you'll see and you can take notes on, okay, this I can apply in my regular lifestyle, and this I can change myself based on this.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Neem Karoli Baba said, every line of the Hanuman Chalisa is a Mahamantra. Every line of the Hanuman Chalisa.
Exactly.
And I love that you've said that. Actually, not. I don't think anyone's ever said that who's not connected to Maharaji to me. So thank you for sharing that. That's actually a very profound thing that every line has an ability to expand the heart and strengthen one Balla Buddhi Vedya to give you that strength and awareness. And one of the things that actually I've connected over the years is the Hanuman Chalisa, millions of people recite, right? Across India, across the world. Many people, million people who are scared, who are, have an exam coming up and they're a little bit anxious. They'll recite the Chalisa, or, they go to a gym and they want to lift some weights. They'll chant the Chalisa, or, it's the go-to prayer, I think, of India, uh, for some strength, for some wisdom, for some knowledge, the Hanuman Chalisa. But in the context of Indian philosophy and Hinduism, it's actually a baby, isn't it? Like it's only 500, 1600, 1600 AD is when Tulsidas shared the Hanuman Chalisa. So when we talk about thousands of year old Vedas or Upanishads, all these old texts, but why the Hanuman Chalisa? And for me, it was Tulsidas's love. That he had such love for Ram, that everybody connected to that love. So I also feel that is so much love that you're giving, that's why the people are coming, like honeybees, to taste that love.
It's a multiplier
I think
effect.
it's a reverse. So much love people are giving. That's why we've been called to certain places.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact about Hanuman Chalisa, which you mentioned, Hindu Dharma, the Sanatan Dharma, believes in devotion so much. Today, there are more Hanuman Mandirs in the country than the Ram Mandir. Imagine, Hanumanji used to pray to Lord Ram. He was a bhakt, he was no one but a devotee of Lord Ram. But today, the Hindu Dharma values devotion so much that there are more Hanuman Mandirs today in India than a Ram Mandir.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
One of the goals of my life is to establish 108 Hanuman temples. That's something I
Oh,
Oh,
want to do before
beautiful.
I leave. And one here in London, a big tall Hanumanji in the center of London. We have a road here called the M25, and that circulates London. So I imagine that Hanumanji should sit somewhere in the middle, and the whole of the cars that circulate London will do circumambulation.
It's a beautiful thought out there.
um, so Hanuman Chalisa, you sing it. How is the people's response to the Chalisa as they're singing with you, as you're reciting that? Do people know it? Like, does everyone, most people memorize it? Even Gen Z, do they know the Chalisa?
yeah, definitely. Like, we sing Hanuman Chalisa, few lines of Hanuman Chalisa in the middle of our set. And, the energy is always very high in that set. And when we sing those particular lines, it goes from here to here. So, like, we see the
We actually
energy.
see people clapping, people dancing, people singing together. It's like an uplifter, and everybody joins in. And trust me, when you answer your question, yes, people do know the lyrics.
Even Gen Zs.
Apparently, whoever comes to our sessions are well aware about it, and they sing very enthusiastically. And that's what creates the vibrations. I'm sure you know about this, but yeah, many people singing together brings the energy to one, and that's what we seek in our jamming sessions.
There was one person who attended our show multiple times. Like they've been to 3, 4 of our sessions, and then they said to me like they know which song, which part of Hanuman Chalisa we're going to sing, and then by the fourth session they learned the entire Hanuman Chalisa just so that we could, he or she could sing it with us.
That's a great service. That's a great service. If people are learning the Chalisa, he said every line of the Chalisa is a Mahamantra, but he also said the Hanuman Chalisa has the power to change fate.
Yes.
And I often think, wow, like, so we have a destiny, we have something that's about to happen for us, but by reciting the Chalisa, we can change the direction of that towards something else, literally transforming our lives. So, if people want to transform their lives, the Hanuman Chalisa will do it to them.
Yeah.
They don't need to actually do anything apart from just recite it, even if they don't know the words, because they're tapping into unconditional love. They're tapping
Yeah.
into pure spiritual heart space. And so I want to come on to something else which is pertinent to the Hanuman Chalisa, but it's about social action.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I started when I first came into touch with Ram Das and Krishna Das and Neem Karoli Baba and Indian spirituality, because I wasn't really, very much. I'm also a trader by profession, financial markets. That's my background. I have
There you go.
an investment firm, and that's my industry. And I was sitting on the trading desk, and I heard Ram Dass, a Harvard professor, talking about India as a golden bird, as India has the maps to understanding happiness and consciousness. And he was a Harvard professor. And he was saying these things that India has the way to understanding the heart and the mind in a much deeper way than is understood in the West. And frankly, by that time, I realized, probably about your ages, that I realized that happiness is not to be found in material things. That's
Yes.
good. It's required. It's needed. It's great. It's part of our goal of life. But ultimately, if we're looking for happiness from it, that's salt water. You know,
Hmm.
you can only get happiness here in the heart. I realized that quite early from Ramdas. And so Neem Karoli Baba, he would say, love all, feed all, serve all. Remember God. Go help people. Go serve people. Now, I consider bhajan and what you're doing here a sacred service. It is a service to people because you're helping them live more from the heart, disconnecting to things that can pull them away
Hmm.
from a good life, like, alcoholism, or, kind of Hanuman Chalisa can give you mental, physical, and spiritual strength to deal with life. So, I relate it very strongly to social service and helping people. Do you feel that as well? Like, maybe I could ask both of you individually, like, how you see that it's actually helping people.
You want to go first?
So, I heard you were a trader. So, both of us, he was an investment banker. I worked as a fixed income trader.
Oh
And
my God. For our sins.
so, we always treated this as a passion project. It is something that we do from our hearts. We've
Wait a
never
minute. Fixed income in
trader.
Kolkata, which means global markets,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
means you was at Futures First.
I was at Excella.
Excellent. Okay. Wow. Wow. So we're in the same world. How funny. That's ridiculous, huh? Okay. Both are close friends of mine.
Oh,
Oh, awesome.
Well,
This is
the world
a
is a
great,
small place. We know the world is a small place.
we
Um,
used to apply for leaves, every Friday. I used to lie to my manager that, oh, I am sick today, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then I used to go do these shows.
how amazing! How amazing! I'll apologize from your behalf when I'm with XLR and these guys. When I'm probably going to be see them next week in Mumbai.
It's
That's
a
wonderful.
beautiful thing.
That's a
Yes.
small world. So how
Yes.
do you? So we're from a similar world, financial markets, and this part. Like, how do you see it as a service now here? Like, how do we? Because you like me and us, we probably got into financial markets for the opportunity of it, for the artha of it. Now we're talking about dharma and moksha, like other goals of life. How do you see it as a service?
We've always believed this to be a service. When you talk about helping people or charity, we've done innumerous number of jamming sessions at NGOs, at orphanages, at old age homes, at schools for development. We've done charity events, and we always wanted to be that way. Honestly, Hanuman, when we started, we had tons of offers from liquor beverages. They wanted to sponsor our event. They want to give us any amount you quote, and they just said put our name to it, but we had our morals strong. We wanted this to be a movement, and today we see the reward of it. We've seen that if we have been loyal towards something, it rewards you in the exact same way, and we would like to keep it same. Today we are at what, 5,000 people per jamming sessions. Even when we reach 50,000 tomorrow, the rules would remain the same. This would be a passion project in which people are moved. We have seen people cry in our sessions. We've seen them smile. We've seen them come with their girlfriends. We've seen them come with their parents, with their grandparents, with their daughters. And that's what makes us so happy. There's so many notes which people leave for us in our jamming sessions. We read each and every one of them.
It's so
It's very,
beautiful.
even in our sessions, there are no VIP sittings, there are no differential pricing that these people who pay extra would sit in the front or something like that. We see people queuing up since 4 for a show that's going to start at 6. So, that's the excitement that people show, and we
Wow.
just want to give the
We'll keep
same.
it same. Even if any other artist you can say in this consideration, be it spiritual or Bollywood, have preferential seating, but we want it to be simple. It's
Yeah.
a normal
That's
session by the
that's
people.
really sweet. That's one of the things I've always loved about the Gurudwara. Like the Gurudwara has always kept that beauty of you just come and sit on the floor and have langar or prasad alongside everyone. So I think that's a really special
Yes.
element what you've added there. And I think from a service perspective, what you said about different age groups coming together. I think it's less so in India, but it's definitely a thing because I travel to India probably 4 or 5 times a year. Over the years, in the West, it's very detached. Like the elderly are separate,
Mm.
the working community is separate, and the
Mm.
kids are separate. They're not together. They don't even talk. So a young
Correct.
person comes home and he goes into his room. The old person is sitting there, or they don't even live together. And then, so that disconnect is very much so. And I think what I saw, like at the Bhajan Jam we did with Bhavik Haria, like a few weeks ago, it it brought grandparents, their children, and their grandchildren together for an activity which they just don't do. Apart from meeting because it's their family dinner together or somebody's birthday or something like that, they would never ever do something together. And I think what a seva that is, because the family connection is actually when family
Exactly.
breaks down, society breaks down. I feel that, and
Exactly.
that is the strong bond that you're actually bringing back together in bhajan. Is just beautiful. Do you see that as well in India? Do you feel like young people were drifting away from their parents or grandparents, and this has helped bring them back together?
Our Indian cultures are pretty strong, honestly,
Yeah.
Hanuman. Always been brought up in a family situation, not just us, but for most of the Indians. So we would say we are much more stronger in that aspect compared to people abroad. However, yes, we do see, especially after the technology, with people using their phones and all, slight disconnect,
Yeah.
which is not as much as the West, but yes, there is. And
So
these
even in the
sessions,
West, it's that the Indian families actually, because we live here, so then the culture is really strong here. So I feel like for specifically for Indian families abroad, this could be a real connector for them to come back
exactly,
together.
exactly, they all come together for our sessions, and we feel so happy about it. You see a video where a child is asking their parents to come for this session. It's a concert where you take your parents along.
To
Yeah.
bhajan, right? Like mostly it's the grandparents or parents are begging the kids, come to bhajan, come to
It's the other way around
satsang
now.
or something. Now it's the other way around. That come and chant with us. Remarkable. And dharma rakshita rakshitaha. So I feel like people who serve the dharma and be part of that, then they are always taken care of. There's no doubt
Exactly.
about it.
The old protector of your
Um,
dharma. Absolutely.
yeah, so that can also be a wonderful kind of theme for you to explore and to analyze. Where do you see it going now? Like where do you see this in bhajans, specific, not just with yourself. Like what if you could see for the world, like loka sangraham for the world, what would you like to see in 5 years' time?
Before I answer this question, our former Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee said a few lines that ना हार में न जीत में किंचित नहीं भयभीत में कर्तव्य पथ पर जो मिला यह भी सही वह भी सही मैं वरदान नहीं मांगूंगा.
Wow.
So it means whatever is coming in our way, we accept it with open hands. And we didn't think that it will reach where it is today in 1.5 years. But to answer your question, our plan is simple. We take it to a global stage. We take this to a stage where each and every one can see how much it is helping them, how much happiness it is bringing to them. We stay humble, we stay grounded the same way. We don't change our rules a lot, and we adapt. Bhajans was an adaptation from Bollywood jamming, and now we want more people to be connected to themselves. So even if it is getting one person to smile, it is doing the work for us.
Yeah. We just, the one single motto is every person from our session, when they're leaving, they just leave with one big broad smile on their faces.
Ah, that's
And
nice.
yeah, we'll stop after a million smiles and
Maybe one more.
I always loved this quote that poverty was a complex because we do food distribution in
Mhm.
disasters or serving people who are underprivileged or struggling throughout the world, and I always remind everyone that poverty is a complex issue, but feeding a single child isn't. So even
Exactly.
if one person you're feeling with love and you're serving that person, in that one child or in that one person is the entire cosmos, the entire universe. There's a
Exactly.
verse in the Chandogya Upanishad which says the entire world, the moon, the stars, every living being, every non living being is hidden in the cave of our hearts. And so
Yes.
just serving that one person and just one heart at a time and sharing that love with them, is like the universe as well, isn't it? So like even if it's 50 or 500 or 50,000,
Does not matter.
it's all Ram. It's all part of the same
Absolutely.
body of God. And so I pray it spreads. I pray that you have more energy to be able to keep distributing that prasad of the Nam, which is in this age considered to be the most profound and powerful way of connecting with God. I hope that it continues to not only nourish young Indians, but also all living beings. And Westerners and Africans and Arabs and everybody can taste it, because then they're not going to be in the mind so much about difference. So, and like when we see it here in London or in New York, we see that people don't know the words, but they connect to the heart of what is going on. And I love to see, like, in the next few years, all of those global satsangs of people coming together and heart opening in every direction. How has your relationship changed between you two over these few years of now the bhajans going on? Are you arguing at all? Is everything really cool?
Yeah, we just fight 20 times more than we used to. Now that we are working together.
The
Ah,
sibling rivalry never goes away. You know the rules,
yeah.
100%. Sometimes it's before the show, sometimes it's during the show, and sometimes it's after the show.
Sometimes all three together.
But yeah,
Look,
that,
that's a natural thing, right? Like that's going to be a natural thing that
that's
you're
gonna be a
you're
natural thing, and we are very happy. But yeah, one thing is good that we have a common mindset. We agree on the basic things together, and the end goal remains the same. So that is acts like a very strong anchor for both of us. We realize the gravity of the situation. We realize the magnanimity of the whole situation what we are in. But yeah, the fights are pretty intense.
Yeah, there's that. I don't know if you've heard this beautiful thing of Steve Jobs. I often show it to my teams where he talks about when he was a young boy, he went to a gardener and he wanted to earn some money, and he was talking to the person who was helping cut his grass, and he took him inside and showed him um, these rough rocks that he had to collect, and they put it into a tumbler. And as the rough rocks were rubbing against each other, banging against each other, arguing, like, kind of in that way, he came back the next day, and all of these rough rocks were polished diamonds.
Oh,
So
wow.
sometimes that closeness of family and satsang and company and togetherness, working together and trying to kind of find a way to make things better together, creates the polished diamonds of that situation. So I also don't think it's always a bad thing. I think there's something
No,
that
100% we agree.
nurtures in that kind of polishing together. And he, by the way, also went to India in the 60s.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so one of the things that I really think that a lot of people will admire Apple, and kind of look at them and use Apple products. And I've never been able to use Apple products. I'm too old, probably. I just used to Google, but um, most people will know Steve Jobs from Apple, but not really know how closely connected he was to Indian philosophy, to meditation, Neem Karoli Baba, and his understanding. After understanding Ramdas, he came out to India, and for me, like, here, I have the image right here on my table. This is the real apple. Look, there's Neem Karoli Baba with an apple there. And when Steve Jobs was dying, in his dying moments, one of the devotees was with him, and he had nothing. So this is a billionaire who created Apple, and billions of dollars, made all the wealth in the world. But in the end, he was passing away, and he had just the hospital gown, this heart beating machine, monitor on, and a picture of Neem Karoli Baba on the wall.
Wow.
And that was it. His last possessions in the world as he's leaving, and at his funeral, everybody received an iPad, I think it was, and on that iPad was autobiography of a yogi,
That's
Oh.
neat. Really.
Paramahansa Yogananda,
Okay.
that book of Yogananda, and so in the end, he was saying that it's the spiritual thing, the connection to God, that's going to
Yes.
ultimately give us that satisfaction
So true.
beyond anything else that we develop.
बट जैसे ना, क्या लेकर आया जगत में, क्या लेकर जाएगा, 2 दिन की जिंदगी, 2 दिन का मेला.
Even
Yes.
when we sing Mat Kar Maya Ka Abhiman, which is a famous Kabir bhajan, you want to explain the meaning?
Says
Sure.
in Hindi, gar means kachi mitti. Gar in Hindi means kachi mitti. So it says kaya gar se kachi. मतलब मत कर माया का अभिमान, मत कर माया का घमंड, माया गार से काची. Our ego, our self pride, कच्ची मिट्टी से भी कच्ची होती है. In a moment, it will be washed away. So be grateful for today, but remember the truth that you shall be perished. You are here to go. So only thing which stays with you is your heart, your soul. Everything else in this world you're going to leave behind. You're not going to take anything with you.
There's two things we take pride on, that's our body and our wealth. Both more fragile than even dry mud, kachi mitti.
That's beautiful. Do you explain this to people when they come and
Yes.
like you share that?
Yeah.
That's
Even in our
so
sessions, we do it. Even in our sessions with so many people, we stop the music, we explain them because it's very important. You must know what you're preaching.
100%. And Kabir is so beautiful. Everything he says was just like nectars of wisdom and bliss. Maharaji used to often quote him, Kabir, and he would say, "It's easy to dye your cloth," referring to people who become a sadhu or they dye it in that way. It's not easy to dye your heart.
Yes, yes.
To change that heart when you said that, Prachi, I was thinking about Bhaja Govindam as well. Do you ever sing that? Does Bhaja Govindam come up? Is that one of the Adi Shankaracharya, with the story of him? He was walking one day and he had the vision that this man is going to pass away, and he was a Sanskrit uh, grammarian, and he is writing Sanskrit grammar, and he's getting quite technical about the details of it. And like you said, we're not formal musicians or kind of all that. But
Mhm.
Shankara says to him, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam. He's saying, chant Govinda, you're going to die, you fool. You're going to leave this body soon. Don't just get obsessed about the Sanskrit text and what the details of all of this deep philosophy, but just sing Govinda's name and liberate your heart and be in happiness and bliss. So I feel that is also one of the messages of this, isn't it? Bhaja Govindam, just chant the name,
Sing along,
share
Yeah.
that.
go with the flow. Yes.
So from um, a perspective now, your father's been a big influence on you. You shared. Is he the key influence here? Is he the person who's motivated you or guided you towards bhajan kirtan, or is there other influences?
I think it's both our parents, our father and our mother. They both of them have really supported us since day one, and there's not one thing that they've not done to support and to show their love towards what we're doing.
So yeah, forever grateful to them and our friends also who have been there with us.
The entire
So
team.
you could call it a yes.
And do you have a spiritual tradition, or a lineage, or a family guru, or in that way, do you have a particular, or is it wide open Sanatan traditions? Are you connected?
It could be wide open Sanatan traditions. We strongly believe in Ramji. Our grandparents who still live with us, they are guiding inspirations. They ensure that we are grateful for them as well. We look up to them immensely. They've been super helpful and super loving, and they are the one who instill these values in us. So, and yeah, we have a beautiful mandir at a home. If you're ever in Calcutta, we'd love to have you over for some time and you
That
could
would be
visit. There
wonderful.
also, you feel the vibrations right there also. It's in the
So we
northeast.
That's very kind of you, and that's very beautiful. And I think that within the family, if that family bond is so strong and wonderful, and you've got the name Raghav as well, being given that, so there is a Ram connection. I can see, there is a. So we have a project in West Bengal, and it's in the Sundarbans,
Okay.
where we try to replant mangrove trees
Mm-hmm.
in the Sundarbans to protect the Bengal tiger and to protect the local villagers who live in the Sundarbans. There's a lot of, conversion activity, human trafficking, like young girls being picked up from there and taken away, and it's a lot of difficult situations. So what Go Dharmic actually has a center in a place called Canning. I don't know if you've come across that place, Canning Town. It's
Okay.
like considered the gateway to the Sundarbans. So I often have to come to Kolkata to visit the Dharma Forest project, and
Would love
it's
to
part of
connect with
establishing Dharma. So maybe we can do a bhajan jam on a boat in the Sundarbans one day, and bring.
100%. It sounds like a
Absolutely.
beautiful idea. We're looking forward for you to come to Calcutta.
And I'm also looking forward for you both to come to London
It's gonna happen very
be here
soon.
soon. Maybe sooner rather than later, huh? And
Exactly.
where are you off to next?
Tomorrow we fly to Hyderabad. We've got a national level tour there. And then post that we're in Bangalore. Then Dubai. We're going to Dubai on 6th.
Of March.
Yes. Then 17th again is Dubai. London, probably it'll be happen in July.
Yeah.
Around July, August. We'll 100% have you there.
I
You
can't
got
wait.
to.
I can't wait. No, it looks amazing, and I hope it continues to open people's hearts and
Absolutely.
allow people from that moment. It can be a turning point, isn't it? And I don't know. Like I can only share my own personal experience, and I'd love to hear yours. But for me, spiritual connection through the practices like bhajan or kirtan or something, it's like a phone call from God and Guru. And once you've had that, you're on a train, and sometimes I try to run to the back of the train and go back, but you can't go back. The train is
Exactly.
always going that way forward. So I might be able to run as far as a few cabins and then, get stuck, or, run a few, but the train is always going to go forward. Do you feel that people who connect with bhajan now through your jamming sessions, through the bhajan jams, will they course change in their lives? Do you feel that that will be something that will help them to reconnect on a different path?
Help them reconnect on a different path. 100%. 110%. It makes them more calmer. You've seen the reaction. We all also were in talks to see that how do people feel before a session and after a session. We end our session with a beautiful bhajan called Narayan, which I told you about, the Rishikesh Ghat. And after that there's a 5 minutes of silence in which nobody moves. The gates are open, the show is over, but everybody stands there and just contemplates what has happened. They feel the energy in the air. And that's what makes us going also. We see them so happy, so much of full of energy. We've got so many messages that this session made them happy after ages. This session is what they needed when they were suffering from their personal lives, when there was something wrong going on in their lives, and this session helped them go beyond that. And that one message, trust me, Hanuman, is more valuable to us than 50,000 people coming. If we
Well,
could make one person happy.
can we do it now? I mean, can we do that practice now?
Sure, we can. Sure,
Yeah.
we
You want
just, you want us to do a small
Impromptu.
change?
Well, look, I'm just thinking, like, you've said it with so much heart and so beauty, and I think of Ramanujacharya, the great guru, who, when his guru told him, Om Namo Narayana, this is the mantra. Do not tell it to anybody, because you know this mantra can free you from all suffering, but it's a secret, and I'm teaching it to you because you're my student. And then what Ramanujacharya did is he ran to the top of the Temple Mount and he started to scream the mantra Om Namo Narayana to everybody in the village. And the Guru said, "What are you doing? You will have to incur their karma if they hear this mantra, because as a guru you take on the students' suffering." And Ramanujacharya said that if I can liberate just a single being because they hear this mantra that can free all from suffering, then I'm willing to suffer in hell for eternity.
Life.
But
Absolutely.
I will do that. So I think that you've shared something there, that practice is something that's connecting. So I thought, why don't we do it now if we
That's
can?
it.
And if
Can you
one
propose that?
person watches this, then great.
Yeah, let us do it. Chalo. We'll do it
yeah.
this inside.
Narayan, Narayan, Jaya Govind Hare. Narayan, Jaya Gopal Hare.
Narayana Narayana Jaya Govinda Hare Narayana Narayana Jaya Gopala Hare Narayana Narayana Jaya Govinda Hare Narayana Narayana Jaya Gopala Hare
Jaya Gopal Hare Jaya Gopal Hare.
So beautiful. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. It
Thank
was
you.
beautiful. Was that the same rag and bhav that was sung in Rishikesh when you heard it back then, or was it different?
In Rishikesh, they sang this. They sang a Hare Krishna chant also, which
Okay.
is nothing but Hare Krishna mantra together.
Hmm.
And trust me, it moved me immensely. That moment, I felt like so powerful from within. It made me forget all my worries, and that's all we want to do to the people. Same experience.
We do this at the end of our sessions. The energy is at its peak, and we do this bhajan. And it's difficult to see. I don't think in any concert we can see 5,000 people just staying shut, not saying a word. And the silence that we get after this song is something that we crave for.
That's so wonderful. That's so wonderful. I'm currently working on a book called Be Yourself, and it's with of my conversations with Ram Dass and exploring certain Upanishads. It's the Kena Upanishad, the Mandukya Upanishad, and the Isha Upanishad. And in the Mandukya Upanishad, have you come across it before? The Mandukya? So,
No.
just to briefly tell you about this, just exactly what you've just shared. Mandukya Upanishad describes the understanding of Om
Hmm.
in that Upanishad, and it talks to you about the A first and how it can be like the waking state. That we're just kind of here, we're living, we're very connected to this whole world, and then it talks about as the dream state. So we're not physically touching and doing in the world, but actually we're still mentally living and moving and having desire and having thought. And then the ma goes into the deep sleep.
Hmm.
So when we're in a state of deep sleep, there's no more desire. So we are in a
Hmm.
state of desirelessness. We're actually meditating in deep sleep, right? We go into that thing. And then it interestingly doesn't stop there. It says after the Om, it's actually the silence after that
Blissful.
takes you as Kaivalyam. And that Kaivalya is the bliss of being completely connected with God in that moment. So after the chant, that you mentioned, that after the chant things, that silence after is
That is
Kaivalyam.
the bliss. It makes so much sense. Absolutely.
Someone once
Yeah.
said, Om is like, A, you state from your stomach. A stands for Brahma. That's why
Yeah.
we state from our stomach. The U song comes from our chest, from our heart. That is for Vishnu. And the Ma that we say, that is from our mind. You can feel the vibrations in your mind when you say, mm. So that's for Brahma. Sorry, that's for Mahesh. So it's
Yeah.
Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh.
I didn't know that. I'm going to include that in my book. Am I allowed?
Yeah, yeah, because
Definitely.
Because I'll explain a bit like that, and then after it's all of the Trimurti. It's
Exactly.
Brahman, all of that comes into that silence that can't be spoken of. The silence that can't be spoken of
absolutely.
beyond all the
It does
beyond.
contain all the vibrations in the world. The
Yeah,
chant contains every vibration which is present in this entire universe, the world.
Yeah. Do you chant Om as well? Like, do you recite Om
Yes, yes.
something?
It's
Yeah.
a common practice for us to chant Om. Even during our sessions, we start with Om chants.
You do, yeah. That's wonderful. Katie also starts the same way. He starts by reciting Om a few times, and everybody then comes
Love
into.
to sometime plan something together. We can
Yeah.
all,
Yeah, it would be
let's see,
lovely.
in the future
Well,
maybe.
we have this wonderful charity event coming up, and it's called Chalisas for Peace, and
Okay.
it's one of the biggest Hanuman Chalisa events in the world. And it's all for charity, and everyone gives their heart and sings Chalisa together from all over the world. And we put little flag to show where the Chalisa is coming from, Ecuador and Japan and China, India, and then
So if there's
everyone
any
sings
such
the Chalisa.
initiatives, please do let us know. We'd be more
Oh,
than
yeah,
happy
that
to
would
be
be
a
a
part of
lovely,
it.
that would be a lovely thing to do.
10% a month. If there's anything else also, we are more than happy to do. If it helps people become happy, it's a pleasure to do it.
Whatever comes from your heart is beautiful. And look, I hope that it continues to expand and grow in the world in this beautiful way that you're doing. For young people in India who might be listening to this, and for young, let's talk about the young Indian generation who are firstly and foremostly very much connected to this. What do you say to a young person today that hasn't been to one of your Bhajan Jams or one of your events, or someone who's listening to this out there? There's many people who might listen to this who volunteer also with Go Dharmic. They do food distribution. They do
Mhm.
other activities. They might have some kind of spiritual inclination. But what's your message to that young person?
Our message is simple. You coming to our session is completely your discretion, but go out, do something which makes you happy. They say real energies happen when you start helping others. So do one thing, just once for once. Go and try help someone, and see what you feel inside. Connect with yourself. The real happiness lies within.
That's beautiful. And Prachi?
I just want to say that if they're ever at that point in their lives where they're feeling low, they don't know where to go, we'd love for them to come to our session, and maybe we can make a small difference in their lives, and that is what would mean the world to us.
That's beautiful. I think, it's a very natural place maybe for us to pause at that moment. And unless there's anything else that you'd like to share, like while we're here, is there anything that arises in your heart that you'd like to share?
We feel absolutely content at the moment. We are
I feel
grateful.
really nice. Both of us feel really nice talking to you, learning so many new things from you. And we had a
Interactive
nice time.
session, and
Yeah.
it's really,
No,
really
I really appreciate you both taking the time. I know that, all around the world, people are trying to connect with you at this moment. And I feel now is the time to really lean into that. And so I just deeply appreciate you both taking the time to sit with me a while. And if even one person comes to one of your Bhajan Jams after watching this, I'll be very happy. All
We are
right.
more than happy. We're looking forward to seeing
Thank
you
you
in
so
London
much.
pretty soon.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you so much.